Okay, so I already recorded this video once last night, but I forgot to turn on my mic, so here we are again. So let's make this quicker than what I previously recorded because I need to get to other projects. I have been working on uploading a bunch of videos lately, editing and recording a bunch of videos about 3D printing and, building it 3D printed miniatures for tabletop war games, such as One Page Rules, Grimdark Future, and Age of Fantasy. And I've been focusing primarily on the Prime Brothers as of the time of this recording. The Prime Brothers are basically Space Marines, these dudes. And I've been using a lot of Station Forge's Socrates minis. As of the recording of this video right now, we've got ourselves a banner bearer, an archivist, some reavers. This is raiders, a raider with a heavy pistol and a sword. And I think this is the Blaster Squad or Hell Blasters in Games Workshop terms. But I've been working on 3D printing some minis and I've been doing some build videos. The first of which y'all should have already seen by now, which is about this dude. This dude was part of, hey, there's some free kits out there. You can download them now and print, pretty cool, right? So from there I started kit bashing a few other kits, creating examples for those, and started making videos on that. So because I started doing that, I realized, oh hey, let's just start organizing the parts into some baggies for some upcoming videos. Right here I've got basically your main force, your Prime Brothers or your Intercessors right here in a baggie. This I'm going to be recording later today, or you're going to see this in the future when that video gets released. And I realized I might as well also look at some of the other unique squads. And the first unique squad I wanted to look at for this was in Games Workshop. It's the Blade Guard veterans, but in One Page Rules Grimdark Future, I believe they're called guardsmen or guards, blade guards or something. So I printed out some parts for those. As we can see here, I've got 3 little baggies for that. And we're going to be looking at in a future video, along with an update to one of the upcoming videos where I showed off how to make a certain dude. But then as Station Forge released more parts, I realized this would fit better. And to give you all a little hint about it, it's a little dude with a skull helmet. But this one actually fits the theme of that character more, with the ribbing on his body and the bones. So this is going to be a fun video to go into and, give some updated info on. But as you guys probably noticed on my desk, I have a couple more baggies. And that's because I want to get into more factions as I do these videos. So I'm mostly focused on the Prime Brothers, the Space Marines. But what about the actual infantry, the actual men on the ground, the Acadians, the Earth Defense Force, the whatever we're calling them these days, Astra Militarum, I believe they were calling 40k. What about those dudes? Well, right here we've got some infantry dudes, and inside the baggie I also have another baggie of, a few of the upgraded units. For along with that, we've got some of their artillery. I believe this is the mortar. I'm planning to do a video of that by itself. A heavy cannon or a auto cannon, I believe. And I believe this is the heavy machine gun. I'm not sure. But what's cool about this squad is, hey, you've got your infantry, but you want to swap out one unit from your infantry for a mortar team or a weapons team. You can do that. So printing a lot of these figures like this for your, I believe it's Earth Defense Force, they're called it. In One Page Rules Grimdark Future. So doing that, this is useful, and I'm going to be getting into this in a future video. Those figures are also from Station Forge. Besides that, I want to get into a couple other factions in Grimdark Future, like the Dwarf Guild. Going to be using some figures from Tablehammer, I believe, for that. I want to revisit some of the figures from my army that I've been building, the Eternal Dynasty. I want to revisit some of those figures, some of the alternates, some of the, more of those, and do videos on that. One Page Rules has also been working on a series of Battle Sister figures, and they'll be releasing, at the time of this video, they were showing off some of the sketches for upcoming kits. For example, some Battle Sisters tanks. So I might do videos looking at those in the future too. Besides that, I also want to get into looking at Age of Fantasy because my girlfriend, Gabby, EB Roxas, showed interest in that side of the game more. And with that, we have the Ratman, the current set coming out from One Page Rules. Right here, I have a box of the Ratman, I believe. Yeah, here are all the Ratmen I have currently printed. I'm planning to reprint a couple of these just to do build videos for them and show off some of their alternate forms. Because they really, One Page Rules released some archers, some spearmen, a lot of random infantry units for the rats, because Age of Fantasy, you have larger scaled armies. But right here we've got rats of swords, cultist rats with banners, and I think incense burners, I'm not sure. But a lot of the new figures that One Page Rules has shown in their Patreon updates look really amazing, and I can't wait to get into those and make videos about those in the future. Along with the Ratmen, one of the other factions I want to look at in Age of Fantasy isn't really one of the mainline factions that One Page Rules has outlined in their, rule set. That's one of the custom factions that a group called the Dragon Trappers Lodge has released, called Rise of the Ooze King, or the Spawned Ooze King, and Rise of the Farmomancers, I believe. They're two really interesting looking custom factions that I think look cool. I like the farm one, and my girlfriend Gabby thinks that the slimes look cool because gooey slimes, Hopefully in the future I can make more videos about this and I can show off some printing techniques and cool things that I have planned for those custom factions and make videos about those in the future. You might be saying now, wait, so you've devolved into just making videos about miniatures? No. I mean, I mostly started in this hobby, 3D printing, painting minis, and whatnot because Tabletop War Games and my passion for building stuff. But a lot of it's more of, this is something that I can easily do right now. A lot of my other projects take a lot of research. For example, one of the projects I'm working on, and I almost have it done right now, I'm working on the casing for it, is setting up a system where I have an LED array hanging behind the light that I can then control from my, from my phone using a Home Assistant, ESP Home. So I can then control the lights that are hanging behind the cameras that is shining down on the desk properly, instead of me having to boost the contrast in the video feed it, because this is the contrast being boosted right now. That's one of the projects I'm working on that I'm going to make a video on in the future, because I also want to show off, hey, this is Home Assistant, this is ESP Home, and here are some projects that I have worked on and am working on using those tools. But other projects are, as you would have seen in a previous video, is a prop wand that I'm working on. Because I love cartoons, and I loved watching Star vs. the Forces of Evil when I was in high school. So I wanted to make that wand, and I wanted to make it where, hey, you're waving the wand, and it's lighting up, and, Magic Girl, time. But that's taking some time since I'm waiting on some parts to come in for that. I need to get an accelerometer for it, so I, wave the wand and it sparkles, that type of stuff. Other projects I'm working on are actually me going back into game dev. I'm working on a UI system for story-based games, visual novel-based games. And I'm planning to make a video on that in the future. And something that a friend of mine has suggested is I revisit some of my old projects, and either I make videos where I fix up those old projects, or I just revisit those old projects and I make videos about those old projects, talking through the code and showing off how they work. Because some of these old projects, I feel like it would take a lot of work to get working again, but the code was a good foundation, a good starting point for what they were initially supposed to be. For example, a while ago I worked on a system for using the Twitch API in Unity, so I can then have animated effects and particles and whatever appear on the UI for a custom. And I've got several systems blocked out for that I want to revisit and show off. So those are going to be future videos. But this was just an update video of me talking and rambling about current projects, planned projects, and what I want to do in the future. Thank you all for watching. I am going to get to recording videos about these minis on my desk right now. After this, I'm going to be recording a video about the Intercessor Squad first, and then finishing up with the Prime Brothers, and then getting started on the Adeptus, the Astra Militarum, the Acadians, the Earth Defense Force, what have you. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and hope to see you all around.